Hey everyone, Coach Patrick here from Endurance Nation, back with another weekly Coach Videocast podcast, another opportunity for us to check in, pass along some of the lessons learned from my teammates here inside Endurance Nation, help you up your game, become a better athlete, do a better job of living the endurance lifestyle, really focus on what matters, right? And what we try and do here inside Endurance Nation is a couple of things. Well, one, of course, have fun, be epic, right? But beyond that, saying, what's our big return on investment? What activities, what training protocols, what logistical decisions can we make that significantly advantage us? What is our 10x decision that makes things better across the board, right? So think about, let's talk about it, right? So maybe you're looking at a bike, you're disappointed with your bike, you want to get better and faster on the bike, and you're like, how do I improve my whole bike setup? Getting a bike fit, for example, and a proper bike fit, that's a 10x game changer, right? Because you learn about how to fit on your current bike, you learn about what kind of bikes you do fit on, and in the process of going through the bike fit, you're actually learning a little bit more about how you functionally move on the bike, right? Moving the arm, the aero bar pads, moving your seat height, getting to understand what's happening. The whole process is a massive step change for you in terms of learning about your body, flexibility, positioning, just the dimensions of your body as well, but also about proper bike fit and what it means to be super aero inside that situation, right? And that's super important. I think when we go through the process of becoming better athletes, a large part of that is almost intellectually oriented and less physically oriented. We look at our competition and we see stronger athletes, faster athletes, and we assume that the majority of those changes are physiological, right? That in order to be that fast, I have to run as fast as that person is. As long as, in order to be that strong, I have to lift as much as that person does, right? Or to go as far, I have to go as far as that person does. And that's not the case. Each one of us is a one of one, right? The uniqueness that we bring to the table is an unlock, an opportunity for us to take advantage of our own strengths, to overcome our own shortcomings and find ways forward. That's the nuance and the excitement of what it means to be an endurance athlete. So in today's episode, after this lengthy endurance-like introduction, is talking a little bit about a logistical change, right? So sometimes I talk in a great deal about physiology or specific sports, or we do interviews here as well. This is more of a logistical one, and I think it's just as important. It's one of those 10x changes as well. Okay. And what the topic for today is wrapping your day right. What it means to kind of wrap up a day. Really, what I'm getting at here is what does it mean to kind of put a bow on something, but also look ahead, right? When we checked our box for today, what's going to happen tomorrow? And you'd be surprised, but the majority of endurance athletes actually sort of don't know what they're going to be doing tomorrow until just the night before. And getting into a space where you're constantly having to learn what's happening and then adjust is really tough, right? It's a sort of a never-ending spiral, a death spiral, if you will, for actual planning and preparation. If you don't know what you're doing on Wednesday until Tuesday night, you really can't plan the rest of your week. There may be something you're supposed to do on Wednesday. Let's say Wednesday is meant to be this effort outside, and you don't know it until Tuesday night. Well, on Tuesday night, you say, oh, I've got this long effort outside. But you just remember that the weather is supposed to be awful tomorrow. It's going to be better on Thursday. Well, then maybe you want to swap your Thursday workout with tomorrow. Well, what's your Thursday workout? Well, of course, right now you don't know, right? So you got to go find out what that workout is and then see if it's going to slot in tomorrow. And you start making all these decisions, but you're in a time crunch now, right? You've only got a couple hours left. Most of it is meant to be sleeping. So if you do need to change sports, modalities, logistics, all of that has to happen late at night when our mental function is severely reduced, especially if you're an endurance athlete, and putting yourself in a position where you're simply adapting the training plan on a constant basis instead of using the plan itself as a tool to become a smarter and stronger athlete. So here's how we recommend you flip the script and get better at planning your week and longer than weeks to have better outcomes across the board. Okay. Number one, the calendar. Everyone picks, sort of training logs out there based off of what the log can do. Does it crunch numbers? Does it spit them out? Is it socially oriented? Can I chat with my friends? Does it display nicely? Does it show animations and things like that? All sorts of bells and whistles. At the end of the day, the most important functionality for your workout log is the calendar, the training calendar. Is the training calendar, does it work? Does it function as a calendar? I really don't recommend having your workouts live on your personal calendar. If you try and do this whole synchronization thing, that rarely ever lasts over time. However, I would say that you do want to block out on your personal calendar the workouts that you do decide. And that process each week or each day or each month, whatever it may be for you that works, that process actually is the exercise through which you get to remedy any friction or challenges you may have. So looking at your personal calendar, you say, Tuesday, I've got an hour bike. You look at Tuesday, you say, Tuesday, oh my God, all day meetings. I'm in Toronto for some reason. I can't do this hour long bike on this day. I've got to move it. Right? So you move it around. So we're not automatically having stuff imported on our calendar that's showing conflicts and causing problems that you've got to sort out on your calendar every time you look at your calendar. We just go through this ritual where we use the calendar of our training log and use our own personal calendar as an opportunity to reconcile what is and what is not possible. Okay. Secondly, the other calendar aspect that's really important is being able to get a visual view of what your week looks like. So your training calendar has to have a great default, Monday to Sunday or Sunday to Saturday. Some calendars prefer that setup for some reason. View of what things look like. So you can actually say, what does a week look like? Because endurance athletes, we really think in sort of these micro blocks that are effectively weeks. What does your week look like? And we're mapping that mostly to our work week, to dealing with the friction and the infrastructure of stuff that we have going on. But at the end of the day, really sort of understanding what it means to be successful across this block allows us to sort things out based off of deadlines and responsibilities that we have that occur on a weekly basis, practices, weekend commitments like church, social commitments that are frequently, or evening commitments that happen all the time, leagues or things that you're a part of, right? Stuff like that. Okay. So number one, the calendar. So really have a great calendar that you know and you can use, right? And then make sure that you have dedicated time, which I'll talk more about here in a minute, to go through that process and reconcile. All right. The second element about wrapping your day and planning for the week is knowing your priorities. So even though you may have the same week, let's say you always, swim on Monday and you do these long rides on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you've got this template week that you love. Even though that week may remain the same because it's your schedule and we're building it around your lifestyle, and inside Endurance Nation, that's a large part of what I do. Depending on the timing of that week relative to your race or relative to your current state of fitness, the priorities in that week may shift. So we may be looking some weekends at the Saturday session for a really important endurance workout, right? Other weeks we may be looking at Monday, Wednesday, Friday for frequency on a different discipline that's really important earlier in the year. For example, when we're building fitness through frequency, right? In other cases, we may be targeting a specific workout that you would really only do during the week. It's higher intensity. It's 2 1-hour sessions. Let's do those on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are your priority sessions. The weekends are important, but they're not as critical. If you get 2 hours in on Saturday or 3 hours in on Saturday, that's not as big or as important as getting Tuesday and Thursday done right. Even though it's the same style of week, how we execute it changes based on our priorities of training and also the proximity of our upcoming race. And so a large part of what you need to discern as an athlete or working with your coach or whatever that may be is knowing what your priority sessions are in any given week to make sure that those do happen on a schedule that's the correct schedule, right? So while I don't ask that Endurance Nation athletes map their week exactly to mine and change things around, right? But I do say, hey, these 2 workouts need 24 hours between them, or this session needs 48 hours before you do anything over 2 hours, right? How do we block that out? Those rules allow you as the athlete to make better informed structural decisions about your scheduling. They also give you insight to my methodology as a coach and our overall training methodology here inside Endurance Nation as well. So know those priorities, okay? All right, let's go through 3 different styles of planning so you get a sense of not only who you are as a planning type, but also what option may work best for you depending on the scenario, where you're at, current life situation, whatever it may be. All right. So style number one is the Sunday nighter. And this is me. I'm generally pretty guilty of this, but it seems to work well enough. So on Sunday night, I block out time, typically like 8 o'clock. People are generally preparing for the week anyway inside my house or chilling out after a crazy weekend. And I get about half an hour to 45 minutes to myself to plan out the week. And I do it both for exercise, but I also do it professionally as well for work. So I can make sure I know what I want to achieve this week, and I can check those boxes as I go. If I just show up on Monday and say, what am I doing today? It's not going to be my best possible work because the puzzle pieces don't fit together. I'm building puzzle pieces. I'm organizing them, but every day it's a new set of puzzle pieces and I'm organizing those too, but they're not in any way connected with each other, nor are they driving me towards this larger objective that's either at week's end, say for work, or part of multiple weeks, say for training. So Sunday night works really well, blocking out anywhere from half an hour to an hour and really reconciling your personal calendar. By now, you know what's happening this week. If you've got travel or meetings or whatever, most of the time you know what they are on Sunday, and you can account for what things are going to look like. So you can put your training workouts into the calendar according to the priority that you have to make sure that you're doing the right workouts based on the reality of the situation that you're facing for schedules, for weather, etc. Right? So Sunday night works well because we're really just dealing with a 7-day window, which seems to be about the optimal duration for people to control. Most people know what's going to happen mostly on a 7-day schedule. So that's a normal sort of reach. And I will start there as sort of your baseline to see does or does that not work for you. Okay. All right. Style number 2 here for you is the afternooner. Okay, so you could use this in combination with the Sunday nighter, or you may just do the afternoon style on its own. But the afternooner sets a reminder every day, typically 3:30. It's a very short. So the upside of this one is it's much shorter than the Sunday night block, which takes a bit of time. But it's really just saying, hey, tomorrow, what am I supposed to do? Set your reminder on your phone or on your own personal calendar. Get the ding, 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 look up and look at your training calendar and be like, hey, what am I supposed to do tomorrow? Oh, I'm supposed to bike 90 minutes. Check tomorrow's schedule. Make sure that everything lines up. It's good. You understand the workout. You're good. That way you're done that night, preparing. Everything's organized. The next day's workout's going to be perfect because you've got it budgeted, you know exactly what you need to do, and it's all front of mind, right? It's in the next 24 hours, very easy to do, and you're planning ahead just enough for that session. This style, the afternooner, does require some general work flexibility, or at least a consistent plan that you know what to expect. So you've got the right things lined up outside of your plan. If your training plan changes dynamically each and every week, you swim on Monday one week, but you swim on Wednesday the other week, and then Tuesday the third week, that becomes really difficult to juggle. Perhaps a really exciting and diverse plan, but not always the best in terms of execution ability for you. When we get in that kind of situation, we say, how do we make sure that we're going to be successful? And we do that precisely by saying, hey, what's coming up and what do I need to know? So it literally puts you in the space to get that next 24 hours done right. In this case, if the Sunday nighter doesn't work for you, then the afternooner may be the perfect duration of planning for you to sort of work out, train, and build the muscle, the reflexes for planning, and get that done right on a micro level. So just really doing it well day by day, and then taking that skill set and then expanding that out across your Sunday nighter version. All right. Okay. The third type of planning, third and final type of planning I'll talk to you about today is the key workouter. Kind of a mouthful right there, key workout order. So this gets back to the priorities that we talked about before. So if you know in this given week that your priority sessions are your Friday long swim, you're training for an Ironman, and the Saturday long ride followed by a run. Those 3 sessions are your most important sessions this week. We always prioritize our sessions inside Endurance Nation. If you can't do the other ones, we don't worry about them because these 3 sessions are the most important sessions, and you know that going in. With those key workouts and plan on Sunday or Monday or whenever it is, you can then set schedule according to make sure that those key workouts happen. So in this case, this system works really well for people whose daily schedule is fundamentally changing all the time. Some days I can, work out today. Some days I can't work out today. I only really find out today I'm on call, or I've got a really schedule that's very dynamic. And so I'm just not sure what's going to be happening or if I will or will not be able to train. If you fall into this camp, then the key workouter approach really will be beneficial for you because you can say, these are my 3 sessions. Where in my week can I exert control? Is it just Saturday this week, or is it Wednesday and Thursday? Maybe I'll swap things around if you're on sort of a more dynamic, overnight or different type of work shift schedule. That makes sure that you're doing the bare minimum, so you can hit the week knowing that from a workout perspective you're going to be successful because you're getting the key milestone sessions done, and then we can sprinkle the other workouts around of lower priority, but still overall from a general training trend important in a way that allows us to say, I did the most important things first, then I did the next most important things, and there were a couple of sessions that I missed, but they were some 15-minute runs, or maybe it was a skill session, or you missed some stretching. Some things you can make up later on, other things not such a big deal if you miss them. The plan itself inside Endurance Nation, at least, is not meant to be the be-all, end-all of your week. It's meant to be my projection for you of what the optimal training is, and that mergification of plan and your life together creates that schedule that ultimately will work the best for you. So these are our 3 styles. Again, to recap for you, number 1, we have the Sunday nighter. Do those 7 days and work on that 7-day block. To me, that seems just about right. Just enough planning goes into it, enough structure will work, and you can kind of will that stuff to happen across those 7 days, right? Number 2, the afternooner. This is much more of a flexible schedule and prefers to go on a shorter timetable, about 24 hours. Knowing today through a reminder what I need to do by planning for tomorrow allows me to be on top of that workout and really spend time and energy not nailing the details. Perhaps not as long-term efficient as the Sunday nighter, but a great place to start should Sunday night style not work for you. And then finally, for those of you with very diverse or structurally challenging schedules that have variability built in that you simply can't account for, the key workout or approach is the best option for you. And that allows you to say, hey, where can I be successful? Let me identify those key areas that are going to be the difference makers for me in my race. Let me check those off. I know with confidence I'm going to get those done. Now everything else is gravy. If you don't follow that approach, then you just go Monday through Thursday, and then the week blows up and you haven't done your key sessions and you did training for 4 days, but you missed all the key stuff. If you had another shot at it, you would have gone back to do the key stuff earlier or figured out a way to make that happen, right? Awesome. So as you think about planning, remember, this is one of those 10X, the X inside Endurance Nation, which we often have. We kind of mix it with our star here in the center. That X inside Endurance Nation is all about 10Xing, about finding multipliers for your performance and also for your enjoyment. I've found that most of the time, organizing in and of itself is not like the most sexy or appealing thing to people, but having a flawless workout day where everything is organized, it all comes together. You do something epic that normally will be really challenging to make happen, but you get it done because you've got a great system and a great process. That in and of itself is super rewarding and makes your workouts better. So structurally, the better you plan, the better you execute, the better you'll become. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Please share it if you like it out with someone else you think deserves to know about Endurance Nation and our approach to return on investment. And if you're interested in becoming a part of the team, please head over to endurancenation.us, where you can go ahead and just check in. You can create a membership. There's always a 30-day money-back guarantee. We'd love to meet you, hear from you, and help you solve your challenges for this season. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.